Hi, this is Dave Bayne again with another episode of The Front Row. Tonight I am flying solo again, but I may have a challenge for best hair in the area because I'm here with Cassandra Syndrome. I'm here with my new friends Jay and Irene, and they're here to tell us a little bit about their band Cassandra Syndrome. And if you can check out Irene's hair, it may give me a run for the money on my hair. So take it away, Irene. Tell us a little bit about your band and yourself.
Absolutely. Cassandra Syndrome is an operatic metal project. A lot of people, when we say that, go, what? So basically you've got a classical American metal, axe-heavy sort of a sound. So think Metallica, Sabbath, this really crunchy, great, our culture of metal sound. But I'm a classically trained vocalist. I escaped from classical music, and that's the kind of vocal I do best. I still take voice lessons, so there's a soprano vocal that goes over the top of it. It's classical style. If you're familiar with bands like, say, Nightwish or Within Temptation, it's a little bit like that, but a little crunchier. You
know, we were doing a pre-show interview, and that's a band I forgot about was Nightwish. You do definitely have a Nightwish sound to you, and
Thank you.
I can't believe I didn't pick up on that.
No, she has an incredible voice.
I must be slipping in my metal knowledge lately. And Jay, you play something called the Zen drum for Cassandra Syndrome. Tell us about that. I've never heard of that before.
The Zen drum is a MIDI percussion controller, and basically it kind of looks like a giant purple piece of pizza with a lot of Oreo cookies on it. And essentially what I do is that each one of those, what is essentially a cookie is a pressure sensitive pad. And when I hit that, that triggers a specific sound in the drum brain. So when I play kick drum, I have actually kick drums both in my right hand and my left hand. And then I come across and I hit a snare. My drum rolls are across the bottom. It's basically about the size of a guitar. And originally it was developed based on the Drumitar, which was developed by Future Man, who plays with Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. But it allows, basically I can just give a stereo feed to any, place that we play. Everything is already pre-panned, everything is already set, and it sounds like real drums.
But you also use your feet too, right?
Yeah, I've got a couple of, well, actually 2 pedals that are specifically, I do hi-hat and snare with my feet, and I have a hi-hat controller as well. So, we came out of a folk project originally, and I'm a lot faster with my hands than I am with my feet. So I moved the feet part to my hands and the hand parts to my feet.
Cool. Now you said it's purple. Was that to match Irene's hair?
No.
The purple fixation is actually only about a year old. So.
Yeah, the Zen drum was first. So
we actually had this long-running joke. He got it, and I thought it was, kind of a fuchsia color. So I was picking on him about having a pink instrument, and then he said, "It's purple." I'm like, no, that's definitely pink. So
yeah.
It matches now, though, so I guess it's all good.
So now the name of your band's Cassandra Syndrome. Who's Cassandra in the band? Anybody?
Since I write the lyrics, that's probably me.
The only reason I say that is because Pink Floyd, they go, by the way, which one's pink? But we talked about in the pre-show interview about your guys' band title. Tell us a little bit. Who wants to talk about that? Where'd you get the name?
Sure, I can do it if you want. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm more comfortable talking than he is. Yeah, he's the strong silent type. Cassandra Syndrome talks about a mental disorder, essentially. It means that you have these dark visions of the future, these paranoid visions, and that no one will believe you. The name actually comes to us from mythology. Cassandra was a famed seeress, and she was cursed by the god Apollo so that no one would believe her visions. She foresaw the fall of Troy. Cassandra Syndrome's music is socio-political, and of course, anybody can look at the world today right now and go, wow, this is kind of rough. And our music focuses on specific issues, and so it does have an alarmist tone to it. And in a way, it's a little bit self-mocking. We know that our music has a sort of histrionic quality to it. So Cassandra Syndrome, yeah, absolutely, we're mildly crazy. We might also be right.
Well, I'm often fond of saying just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean everybody isn't against me. I often get accused of being paranoid. Well, that brings me, it sounds like you putting a lot of thought into the title of your band, and that brings me to your new CD, which we were fortunate enough to get an advance copy of. It's Static 10. And I've had Satire 10. I'm sorry. I was thinking Static X. I apologize for that.
That's okay. They're awesome. We love them.
Satire 10. And one of the things I was really impressed with your CD is the And it will be available when?
August 1st. It is available for sale August 1st. You can pre-order it now on the website. It is released formally August 1st, though. So after that, you can download it, you can get it at a show, all that good stuff.
But one of the things I was really impressed with was the time and attention you paid to detail into putting the package together. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. The name Satire 10 is a satire that was written by Juvenal. He was a first century satirist. And Juvenal in Satire 10 mentioned bread and circuses. And when he was talking about that, what he was talking about was a government catering to these sort of shallow needs of a populace as opposed to actually governing well. And we really liked that phrase. So when we were talking about the album, about the phrase bread and circuses and Satire 10, we wanted to capture that dark circus quality, this idea that we've all been distracted, so the world is dismal around us, terrible things are happening, but we're all so interested in the next reality program, the next thing, that we don't see it. And so we developed a circus cast. So I'm the ringmaster in this one on the front, and then we have the rest of the, the staff of the circus on the back. Callisti Design did the artwork for us. Wonderful, wonderful company. I can't say enough good things about them. And then my mom actually made the costumes because she's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the things that stuck out in my mind looking at this. Is I really dug the costumes. I dug the cohesive look to it. A lot of bands nowadays, they don't. It's like I was telling you earlier. It's like you go watch them. It's like watching the UN. One guy looks this way, another guy looks this way. And I, for a guy like me who loves to collect CDs and loves the artwork and loves the liner notes, I appreciate things like this, and I know most young people today don't. But I think it's cool the way the blacks and the reds and stuff like that really, for me, somebody who's a freak about these things, I really, really enjoy it. So
if you like that, the costumes can be seen in action. We've got the music video, which was shot, the band sequences were shot, and these goes up on our YouTube on July 10th. Okay.
And Jay, Irene was saying that, everybody, she's the ringmaster. Who are you, the lion tamer?
According to her mother, I'm the financial backer. That was what she decided that I looked like in the picture.
Yeah, my mom came up with this sort of amazing what everybody's roles were thing. My mom is awesome. I won the genetic lottery on my parents. But yeah, so she came up with roles for everybody.
I was just being a smart ass by calling you the lion tamer.
He's married to me. That's apropos.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Irene, you want to plug a bunch of your upcoming events before we go off on a tangent and we don't get to it? Tell us about what we can expect.
Absolutely.
We know we've got your CD coming up, but we've got a bunch of shows coming up too where we can catch you.
That's right. We've got a whole bunch of run-up for the CD that we're really excited about. We're so proud of this album, and so we decided to do a whole bunch of run-up stuff for it.
Which is Satire 10, by the way, not Static 10.
Satire 10 is the album. The first thing that we have will actually be debuted this evening. You're going to watch it in just a little bit, which is a behind the scenes of the making of this album, which talks to us and to our production team. We had wonderful producers. Jeremy Rogers and Lonnie Ureta worked with us on this album, and they were amazing. So there is a whole sequence of that. That's going to go up here this evening, and then it's going to be on our YouTube page starting on June 30th. And then we have an official music video. It was shot by More Brains Media. We love working with them. And that goes online July 10th.
And what's the video for? Which
it's song? For Shackles. So it is cut 5 on this album, and I think you'll like it. It gets very creepy.
And what's Shackles about?
Shackles actually uses the line bread and circuses in it. It talks about becoming slaves to our stuff, how the things you own end up owning you. The other cool thing we've got with this album that I'm really excited about, we're doing a virtual listening party. So what that means is we're going to stream the album live. The whole band's going to be there. We're going to talk about the tracks. It's going to be on Ustream. So there's a chat room as part of it. If you have a question for anybody in the band, if you have a question about the music, log on. Listen, ask your question. We'll address it during that live stream.
You can ask Jay if he really does.
You can ask
Jay. That's awesome. And you said you guys have a big following in Europe, so that probably works out well for your fans in Europe.
Absolutely. We
so
try to make ourselves accessible as much as possible. Like the first pre-orders on this album, I was talking to you earlier, they came from Germany and the Netherlands and from Sweden. So we have a really amazing local following that we absolutely love, but we also have people who support us really, really strongly in all corners of the world. And we want them to be able to have the same experience as everybody here. And then, of course, the big thing, the album is released on August 1st. If you ordered one, that's when it's available, and then we have our CD release party.
Unless you're me, who already has.
Yes, unless you're very special.
I feel very special.
Our CD release party is August 20th at Ram's Head Live in Baltimore, which is an amazing stage. You should come to it if you can. It's a great show.
And there's some other shows you want to plug coming up too, right?
Yeah, we've got, this will air on the 25th, so the show that follows this one will be July 22nd. That's in New York, so if for some reason you're watching this online, go see us at Brushwood. And then we have a great show coming up at Cynics in Baltimore on July 30th, which is another excellent club. That's going to be a cool show. That is us and Ephemeral Sun, who are amazing prog, like symphonic prog metal. They're incredible. Atom Smash, which is another prog band, and then Motorcycles from Pittsburgh, which is like this sort of female-fronted, punky, sort of heavy sound. We're really excited about that bill because there's this nice variety of metal being presented.
Cool. And you guys have played a show with another band we've had on here, Division, right?
Yeah, we love Division. Those guys are awesome.
But you have nothing coming up with them in the future?
We don't. It's one of those funny things. We keep tossing dates back and forth to each other, and the stars are just not aligning. Every time we have a space for them, they're out of town. Every time they've got a space for us, one of my guys is out of town.
That's the show. That's the show I want to go to. I want to see you guys in Division.
We had a great time sharing a bill. We did a show in Richmond at Alley Cats back in, it was March, right? Early spring?
It was March. It was late March.
Yeah, and
maybe it was mid-March.
Whatever,
yeah.
Springtime. We had a great show with them. It was a wonderful bill, and it was the first time we'd seen them live, and man, they are an eye-opener. That's a great band. Yeah,
they definitely bring it. You guys are big in the goth, even though you don't have the keyboard thing, but you guys are big in the goth community, right? You want to talk about that at all?
Sure. We kind of got started playing in the goth community. Obviously, I'm kind of gothy around the edges, as evidenced by the too much eyeliner and purple hair. I've been a goth since I was a teenager. It's just a subculture I love and a music that I love. So when we were getting started with Cassandra Syndrome, we thought, what does this music sound like? It has kind of a haunting quality to it, a kind of darkness, a creepiness. Even though there are no synths, we capture that, I feel, with the guitars. So we started playing for goth clubs in the area like DC Midnight, and we did gothic events. We've played for DC Bound. We've done, all sorts of festivals that have kind of a darker theme to them. We used to play up in Salem, Massachusetts at Halloween. It was fun. So yeah, we absolutely got started with the goth scene, and we still absolutely love playing for them. The cool thing that the band has sort of developed lately is that we're breaking out of that a little bit more. We're playing more varied venues, which is great. It's nice to meet new people and to find out that although our metal has this sort of unique sound for this particular country, there are so many people who are ready for a new variety of metal.
Yeah, I definitely think you have a, the more we talk, I'm always trying to place bands' sound. And I was trying to place your guys' sound. I listened to the CD a few times, listened to some songs more than others. I like No More Peace Forever a lot and Hell on Earth a lot. Those are the first two tracks. I really like those songs a lot. You guys definitely have a Euro metal sound to you. Was that what you were trying to go for?
It wasn't. It was kind of an accident. We wanted to create a metal project, but the way I sing, of course, is classical soprano vocals, and the only other place in the world where that's really big is the Netherlands, Europe. That's a lot of bands out there have that incredible sound. It's still kind of a new concept for this country, but it is one that you're seeing more of. We did Flight of the Valkyries, which is an all-female fronted metal festival this last year. It's the East Coast premier female fronted metal festival, and they're starting to crop up all over the place. So the simple fact that these exist means that this sound is really starting to have an impact. Some people really like it, and that's the best you can do, make art that other people enjoy.
Yeah. Now, Jay, don't talk so much. You don't have anything to offer to the discussion today?
Irene covers things so well, and and she's very good at choosing her words and talking a lot. And
he's going for a black eye later.
Yeah.
Have you thought about dyeing your hair purple?
No.
You have like a whole purple hair thing.
You know what's hilarious? Actually, is Jen, my rhythm guitarist, Jen Tonin, who's amazing, showed up at the house with a purple sheen on her hair the other day, and she totally spaced it until she walked in the door going, oh no, now we're both purple.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It's a theme.
So you
red and black and purple.
So you haven't thought about dyeing your hair purple?
No, I haven't thought about dyeing my hair purple. On the guy side, I have to kind of represent actually having long hair, since both Chris and Joe have relatively short hair. So one of us has to have long hair. Although I kind of wish Joe would do something because he's he's the bass player and he bounces all over stage and he headbangs quite a bit, and it would look
really
great
engaging
on
to watch.
And being behind the Zendrum, I tend to not have as much physical movement to do that with.
As everybody knows who watches the show, I'm a big fan of hair. I'm always talking about my hair and how great my hair is.
It's pretty fabulous hair.
Well, thank you. I do what I can. But nowadays it's not like when I was coming up, or even when you were coming up, Jay. It used to be like your mane. It was called your mane.
Yeah, and it was.
And you could never cut it. And you weren't metal if you cut your hair. The only person that got away with short hair back then was Rob Halford from Judas Priest, the only one. But nowadays, man, you can play metal. You can have short hair. It really doesn't matter anymore. But I get what you're saying. Maybe you can get one of these guys to grow their hair long. But I guess you are.
I think Chris is actually thinking about
flying the freak flag for the band, as I like to say.
He's the only one whose job will let him get away with it. And that's the thing. We all have day jobs, and some of them are more relaxed than others. One of us does litigation regularly and cannot have long hair. Shall remain nameless.
You talking about me?
No. No, another band member.
She's a lawyer? He's a lawyer?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Well, he's not a lawyer. He represents a company, though, and goes and testifies on behalf of that company a lot.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that off camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. You didn't know I'm an attorney, but I won't tell you who I work for.
I'm getting his phone number because
Yeah, I'll refer you to somebody good. Yeah, it's a shame in the workplace you can't let your freak flag fly, but that's just the way it is. Now, you guys have an interesting story. You guys not only share the same last name, but you're married.
Yes, we are. We are one of those rare band marriages.
And how did you guys meet?
We're actually both ex-military. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm a former Marine, and he's former Air Force.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank you both for your service to our country. I think it's very important. I think it's really cool.
It was an honor.
I unfortunately never served. Phil served. It's one of my biggest regrets that I never did serve and actually serve my country. But I think it's cool that you guys did that.
It's a wonderful experience. I actually recommend the military to anybody who's looking for direction. When I was,
and then you come out with purple hair.
Yeah, I know, right? No, when I was 18 years old, I had a chip on my shoulder, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the Marine Corps really straightened me out. And I think
really,
yeah,
this is straightened out.
This, believe it or not, but think about it. What do I want to do?
Right. Oh.
I want to make really good metal music. I want to be an artist, and I pursue it with a single-minded intensity. The Marine Corps helped give me that. And that's
how you guys met, right?
Yeah.
Okinawa?
Yeah, we were serving the military.
Right. It's kind of like loosely based on the Karate Kid, like how you all met.
Yeah. He attacked me in an alley, and I broke his nose. No,
I think it's really cool that that's how you all met, and that you did do that. And I'm just kidding you about the purple hair and the whole military.
You're just
thing.
jealous because I'm winning. I'm more fabulous right now.
I actually, if I could get away with it, I'd have black nail polish. I tell people that all the time, but I can only push this whole thing so far.
Can you get disbarred for having black nail polish?
I could not disbarred, but I can lose a lot of clients. Yeah, my lawyer showed up with black nail polish. I'd like a new lawyer.
I think it was awesome, personally.
Well, actually, some of my clients do think it's awesome that I have long hair. Others are kind of like, okay.
What are you doing? Yeah.
But no, for the most part, it's not a problem. If you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter. And you guys, I mean, obviously, you're focused enough on your music, but you realize, look, we got to keep our day jobs too.
Right.
And it doesn't take anything away from your music. I mean, look at the effort you put into this CD and your songwriting and everything else.
I think it's actually part of why we can put that kind of effort in. We don't have to focus on doing gig after gig after gig after gig just to make the bills. We can instead go, what do we want to present artistically to the world? How do we want this to look? How do we want it to feel? We can spend the time doing take after take until it's exactly what we want. And I think that gives us a unique freedom, actually. We have friends who are in bands who use it to pay the bills, and I think that there's a lot of joy to be had there, but there's also a lot of stress that goes with that. Trying to make ends meet as an artist, that's tough.
Yeah, and like we were talking about before the show, I mean, there's only so many people that make it big. There's only one Kiss. I mean, not everybody's going to make it big, and I think you guys are doing it the right way. You're exploring your passion for music, you put your all into it, but you still understand what's important at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that the music's not important, because
it is, but so is eating.
That's just why we're doing this show, because the music is all important to us. But you got to put things in perspective. Like you said, so is eating.
Yes, food is very important. So is shelter.
And
we like our house. It's nice.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. I mean, this show's a hobby for me. this music thing's probably a little bit more of a hobby for you, more than a hobby for you guys.
My uncle always says that every good hobby eventually turns into a mental disorder. So this, I believe, at this point, is a mental disorder.
Now, where can we, if we want to go search the internet machine, where can we find you guys?
You can find us in all of the usual places. The website is CassandraSyndrome.com. We are on Facebook. We are on MySpace. We're on Reverb Nation. We are on Fanbridge. Google Cassandra Syndrome. It's about the first 20 things that come up.
I think the first thing is the Wikipedia.
Yeah, actually, it is the Wikipedia thing. Yeah, good point, Jay. Yeah. I knew you'd be good for
something. We'll take them down eventually.
Every so often we get above it, and then it'll flip.
Yeah.
But
we're having a thumb wrestling match with Wikipedia. I think they're going to win. They're a little bigger.
Yeah. So, and your website is CassandraSyndrome.com, right?
That's right. And you can hear a track from this album. The Magus is the single. It's up on there right now. And once again, the music video is going up on July 10th. So then that'll be up there, which is effectively 2 tracks from this album. On top of that, you can hear stuff from our discography. So you can hear tracks from Of Patriots and Tyrants. That was the 2009 release. And there was an EP before that called Descent into Heresy. And all of that is up online right now.
And we can find your earlier stuff on the iTunes, right?
That's right.
Okay, cool. And can we find you guys on other places to download your music, like Amazon and things like that?
Yes, you can find us. This disc is not up on Amazon yet. It will be soon. But the previous one is. You can go to CD Baby. Oh gosh, kind of a...
Isn't there Snowcap?
Yeah, I think we had a Snowcap account. I
don't remember.
What's Snowcap? I don't even know.
They were a MySpace thing.
Yeah, I think they're gone now.
Yeah, long time ago.
Nobody goes on MySpace anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of a barren wasteland. It's just like other bands sending you event invites.
It's all spam.
I don't even check my account there anymore.
I don't either. I originally got on MySpace because I wanted free music downloads from bands like yourself that I dug that are local, and it was hard to find their music. But nobody goes on there anymore. Everything's Facebook.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Facebook is kind of an ideal platform, so next best thing.
Yeah. What are the plans for? You've gone through your shows and you've gone through the CD come out. What are your other plans for the future?
Well, we are planning to tour to support this one, of course. We've already begun writing new music for the next one, so if you come see us at one of the shows coming up, I think even at the Ram's Head for the CD release, we're planning on playing another song that we have just finished writing, which will show you kind of where we're going next. With every album, we try to do a taste of where we've been, where we are right now, and then a little bit of a hint of where the music is going.
Now, have you thought about doing... I know I asked you guys if you play covers, just because, sometimes it gets the crowd engaged, like we said.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys come from a folk background. Have you thought about fusing like a folk song into like the Cassandra Syndrome sound?
We've thought about it once or twice.
That would be interesting.
We thought about doing like a metal version of something. We were talking about A Sound of Silence for a while, like metaling that up. It's always open. There's a lot of back and forth over what kind of covers we want to do.
Couldn't really do Diamonds and Rust because Priest already did that, but yeah, I mean, when I was thinking of that would be an interesting hybrid of your type of metal if you did a folk song with that.
Well, and there's actually like a whole subgenre within the weird metal world that is folk metal, and that it employs instruments like hurdy-gurdies along with your crunchy guitars and basses.
Right. And it would go with your message, which folk music has always been about. Commenting, social commentary, and commenting on what's going on around you, which I take it that's what you're trying to do with Cassandra Syndrome. You have this paranoid view of the future or whatever. I think that would mesh with the folk thing. So,
No, we've talked about it. It's one of those ones where, if somebody wandered in and could play hurdy-gurdy, I'd absolutely throw them on a track. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Yeah, I've actually heard a metal version, I think, of hurdy-gurdy. LA Guns did it, but I think you would have a different take on it.
Yeah.
You guys obviously don't sound like LA Guns.
You're
familiar with that.
No, they're a little different now.
Yeah, a little bit different. So Jay, you play this Zen drum. Where did you do you play regular drums, or how did you get involved with doing the Zen drum?
I started off as a hand drummer, primarily playing djembe, congas, bongos. And when we decided to do Cassandra Syndrome, we had seen somebody else use a Zen drum at one of the events we had played. And you can pretty much, with a Zen drum, it can play whatever sounds you want it to play. So when we decided to go with Cassandra Syndrome, I knew that I'd be able to produce that kit sound, but using the hand drum techniques that I had already learned. And to be honest, the first track, No More Peace Forever, is a modified, the drum part is a modified version of ballady, which is a Middle Eastern rhythm for the drums, which is normally played on a doumbek. But I modified it and put it onto a kit sound.
It's actually one little fun fact about the band is everybody in the band plays drums. All of us either play hand drums, or Jen, the rhythm guitarist, plays a kit, and Jay plays. Yeah, so that's one of the things that we actually all can do.
Well, one of the things when I was watching your live DVD is, at first I was like, who's that guy sitting up there with that thing that looks like some medieval type of lyre? Is that what you call it? That thing that they strum? And then I figured out you were playing the drums with it. And I was like, where's the drummer?
We get that a lot.
That kit, and then I finally figured it out because it does sound like you're playing the drums. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of our time. Irene, is there anything else you want to plug before we go?
Come check us out. We're online in all the usual places. We have some great shows coming up, and yeah, please listen to the album. We think it's great, and I hope you enjoy the behind-the-scenes video. I feel like of Patriots and Tyrants, we were still figuring out who we were musically as a band, and I think you can hear it on the album that it's the very beginning of Cassandra Syndrome. With Satire 10, I feel like it's really this incredible and full expression of Cassandra Syndrome. We also mixed this album ourselves, and that incredible control, I think, has allowed us to really fully express who we are as a band.
Just the amount of creative input that goes into it, and all of us sitting around as a band collectively coming up with these parts, it is just an incredible experience that I look forward to repeating again in the future.
I definitely think we evolved in how we wrote. I think we got a lot better at the drama, but the big part that for me that I really wanted to emphasize was the drama, especially with the drum lines. So it's, you know, we really tried to make sure that the songs, they attached not only on an intellectual level but on an emotional level. So that I think that was really important, and that we came to Jeremy and Lonnie as producers with music that already had a lot of a dramatic arc built in. So I think we were much more mature as songwriters and also musically.
And once again, when can we get this album out?
August 1st is when it's released, although there are tracks up online now.
But can I download the tracks online right now?
Not yet. Okay. August 1st.
So I'm special that I have a copy
You are
of this.
special.
You can download the Mages right now.
Yeah, you can download the Mages right now, which is the single.
All right. Okay, well, I guess we're ready to wrap up our time here with Cassandra Syndrome. Check out their old stuff on the iTunes. Check them out at cassandrasyndrome.com. Their new album, Satire 10, not Static 10, I apologize for that.
No worries.
Will be available August 1st. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get out to see them on August 20th. Is that right?
That's
Is that
right.
the show at Ram's Head Live?
Live?
I'm Dave Bayne for the Front Row, flying solo again. And I will see you and Cassandra Syndrome in the front row. Thanks for watching.